What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Noluckadded podcast, the podcast for young entrepreneurs. Listen, man, I'm not going to waste no time. We're going to jump right into the episode, but I do need you to do me a favor. If the content in this episode, if it does anything for you, right? If it helps you in your business, if it helps you in your life, please share it out. Please leave a review and make sure that you subscribe. That's all I need. Let's jump to the episode. All right. We are live. Welcome to the Noluckadded podcast, the number one podcast for young entrepreneurs. And when I say young, I mean young in business years. I don't mean young in age, right? You can be 40 years old. You could be 50 years old and be young in business age. Listen, man, we got to dive into something today. I came to a real realization yesterday. Right. I had an epiphany yesterday. What's going on? I had an epiphany yesterday, y'all. An epiphany. What's good? I see people hopping on. I had a shift in mindset yesterday, man. A real shift in mindset. And honestly, I was kind of looking back over my journey so far, right? Because I've been on the hunt for a while, right? I've been on the hunt for a while. I've been in this particular business for 3 years, but I've been on my journey going on like 7 years now, y'all. It's crazy, right? About 7 years. And if what they say is true about, 10 years to mastery or whatever, I got about 3 more years left, right? But I realized, y'all, that oftentimes we put so much emphasis on the hunt, like chasing something, that we forget the most important part. But before we jump into that, y'all know we got to do our mantra for the morning, right? I've been doing this every single morning, y'all, and it's just shifted my mindset a little bit more. I'm big on gearing your mind in the morning, right? That's the very first thing that I want to do. I want to wake up. I want to give gratitude to God for waking me up, number one, right? And then I want to just start gearing my mind for the day, listening to positivity, right? Going to the gym, getting in that hard workout, training my mental for whatever the day has for me. So God wants me to win, right? Listen, every time I say it, this has been my number one every single day. God wants me to win. Why? Because I just believe that if we believe that God wants us to win, we can be more bold in our walk, right? Like there was a time, I'm going to be real with y'all. There was a time where I didn't really understand that God wanted me to win, right? I knew that I wanted me to win. But I didn't really understand the fact that God was with me on the journey. Like if God gave me the dream, he's going to equip me on the journey, right? I came to that realization. So every single morning I'm saying to myself, God wants me to win. I'm on a divine path. I got a divine purpose. I lack nothing. Hear what I'm saying? I lack nothing. There's nothing that I lack. Now, if there's something that's not in my possession, here's the beautiful thing, the way God set it up. This world is abundant. Right? This world is abundant. So if something's not in my possession, number one, either it's not for me, or number two, it's accessible to me. Let me say that again. Number one, it's either not for me. If it's not in my possession right now on my journey, right? Because I feel like God equips us every single day with what we need for the day. If it's not in my possession right now, then I don't need it. It's not for me, or I just got to go get it. Right? It's accessible to me. Now, let's jump into the topic because I'm about to hit the roll. I don't even got that much time, but this is super important. Like I said, we put so much emphasis, y'all, on the chasing something. We're chasing the dream. Oh, I'm chasing this. I'm grinding. I'm working. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I would never in my life tell you that there's something wrong with that because that's the journey that I'm on. I'm grinding. I'm working, right? I'm building something. I'm chasing something. But I remember when I first started my journey, y'all, all I did was chase. That's all I did. To the point where I never really rested, right? I would never rest. I would go every single day. I'm up. I don't care if I went to sleep at 11. I'm back up at 4. I don't care if I went to sleep at 12. I'm back up at 4. 4 hours of sleep, 5 hours of sleep, 6 hours of sleep. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. You're trying to build something. There's absolutely nothing wrong with grinding it out. But I realized that when I'm chase, and there's no rest. There's no recalibration. There's none of that. I would burn out. Right? I would burn out. And when I burnt out, it's like a day or two. I'm just like out of it. Right? Like I'm like no good. And I'm still working. I'm still doing everything that I can. Here's the way that I equate it, right? I don't know if y'all lift weights or not, but if you lift weights, you know about grip strength, right? And the way that you could tell when you're exhausted is that your grip strength is not, you're not as strong as like weights that you know you can lift, weights that you absolutely know, like you've done it before. Like if you deadlifting 225, 315, whatever, right? If you go and you try to lift that weight and your grip strength ain't right, you're exhausted, you're not picking that weight up. And that's the way that I used to approach building my dream, right? That's the way I used to approach it. But I realized something. When it comes down to hunting, it's not just the chase that's important, but it's the search. Oh man, we about to cook. Listen to me, we about to cook. It's not just the chase, it's the search. So I'm big on like Animal Planet. When I was younger, my stepdad, like that's all he used to watch. Animal Planet, Discovery Channel, all that stuff. And I realized that the greatest predators don't just chase prey. They search first. They search. They sniffing. They're using their senses. They searching for it. They got to search for what it is. And then they lock in on the target. And then they chase it. But we put so much emphasis on the chase that we have not done the search. Now, what do I mean by that? Some of us, we haven't searched ourselves. We don't even know ourselves yet. Some of us, we haven't even, listen, we haven't even worked on the spiritual part of our lives. So we're chasing the dream, but our spirit's not right. We're chasing the dream, but we don't know ourselves well enough. So we're trying to do what they're doing. We're trying to be like them, whoever they are. We're scrolling down Instagram. We're scrolling on Facebook. We're comparing ourselves because we don't fully know ourselves, because we put so much emphasis on the chase that we have not put the emphasis on the search. There's a search that has to come, that comes first, right? And I realized this after I had already started on the journey. I realized that I didn't really know who I was. If you go back and scroll down my Instagram right now, you go back a couple years ago, I was doing like motivational videos, right? But I was really sounding like E.T., Eric Thomas. I didn't know who I was. So I saw him doing it and I just did what he did. I was a carbon copy, trying to copy what he was doing. We're just being real this morning. I didn't know my authentic self. I was building something, but everything that I was building wasn't me. It wasn't who Destry was. So now I can show up every single day because I know who I am. But back then I didn't know. And here's the thing that really changed everything for me. I started investing in myself, right? I started reading books. I started going to conferences. But the thing that really shifted everything for me was when I invested in this thing called a DISC assessment. This was like 2015, 2016. I can't remember the year, right? And I sat down with a guy. He was connected to Eric Thomas's team. I can't remember his name now. It'll come back to me. But anyways, I did a DISC assessment, right? I did this assessment, and this assessment taught me so much about myself that I didn't even know. Like I literally was like totally outside of myself when I was chasing this stuff. I was not myself at all. I was not who I authentically was, right? I just wasn't Destry yet. I didn't know my identity. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what my gifts were. I was searching. But I had put so much emphasis on the chase of something that I didn't do the real work first. Now, I speak to entrepreneurs, right? That's y'all, my family. As entrepreneurs, y'all, if we start a business and we're not authentically ourselves, that business is going to fail. If we can build it up, right? We can build something up. And it's going to fall if we don't authentically know ourselves, if we don't know who we are. So the first thing that comes is the search. We need to search within ourselves. Who am I authentically, down to my core? Not when people are watching, not when I feel like somebody's evaluating me. Like, who am I to my core? And that's who I need to be all the time. And then I need to surround myself with the people that are different from me and that can even me out. But we ain't even gonna get there yet, right? That ain't even a part of today's discussion. We need to put the emphasis on the search. And yesterday, I sat down, and Mondays are really like my numbers days, where I go over my numbers, I evaluate the business, I write my business report. I write a report every single Monday about the business, what's going right, what's going wrong, right? But in that, I started to search myself, because I started to realize that a lot of the goals that I had, I've already accomplished them. For this year, a lot of the goals talking about fitness, we talking about business, we talking about, like, a lot of goals that I had for this year, I had accomplished them. And then, but here's the thing. I did not even realize that I accomplished, because I just been chasing, running. But me sitting back, looking at the numbers, going back 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days, looking at the numbers, looking at what my goals were, reevaluating some things, I realized that in all my chasing, I had ran past the goal. And I didn't celebrate it. I didn't recognize it. I didn't acknowledge it. So it caused me to sit back and search and ask myself, Deshu, what is it that you really want in this season? Like before the year end, what is it that you really want? What is it that you really want to become in these next 30 days, these next 40 days? I don't even know how many days is left. Like what is it to the core? Because we can set all these goals, and honestly, I believe in you so much that you're going to accomplish them. I believe in that. If you on this live, if you listen to this podcast, I just believe that you are, you know what I'm saying? You on the path, right? You are on the path. What's going on, Kenny? You are on a path, right? So I believe that whatever it is that you're going out there to accomplish, you can accomplish. But let's not get so caught up in the chase that we just running all year, and we don't take time to sit back and search. We got to do the search, y'all. We got to search ourselves. We got to ask ourselves the hard questions. If I'm not reaching the goal, why am I not reaching the goal? If I am reaching the goal, dissect that. How did I reach the goal? What were the things that I did? Because I need to repeat this. See, here's the thing about entrepreneurship. You can have a great month, and then the next month, you back down to square one. And you could be doing the right things. You can be doing the right things. You can be repeating the process and still not get the same result. And when we get to this conversation, and I'm probably going to break this up into two parts, now we're talking about pace. So we got the search. Right? We got to search. We got to constantly be asking ourselves, reevaluating our goals, reevaluating ourselves, assessing ourselves, doing self-assessment. That's the hardest thing for us humans to do, is self-assessment. We never want to self-assess. We never want to sit back and say, are you doing what you said you were going to do? That's one of the hardest things for us to do as humans, is to self-assess, to search, to do the search. What's going on, Neil? The legend. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the hardest things for us to do. To assess ourselves, to say you're not doing what you need to do. That's a part of the search, right? That's a part of the search. So while we're chasing, number one, we need to stop. We need to step back. We need to search. Number two, we need to evaluate the pace that we're going at. Can we keep this pace up? Can we keep this pace up? What's your endurance like? So check this out. I picked up running over the summer. I used to hate running. I picked up running over the summer. And here's what I realized about running. I realized a lot about running, but here's one of the things that I realized about running, especially in Indiana. I live in Indiana, right? I live in Indiana. So there's months where it's hot and there's months where it's cold, right? So I realized during the summer was the time to really work on my endurance, because I can be out there longer. Hear what I'm saying? During the summer season, I can work on my endurance. I can work on my, Neil says sprint. I can work on those things. I can work on my long distance because I can be out there longer. Now that it's wintertime, the most that I'm running right now is a mile. I'm in and I'm out. We're talking about pace right now. Hear what I'm saying? In the season that you're in right now in your business. Now, we're not talking about the weather right now. We're talking about in your business, in your life, the season that you're in right now. What is the pace that you need to be running at? What's the pace? What's the goal? Is it endurance? Like, what is it? Because I realized that in these next 30 days, I'm not slowing down. But I cannot keep up this type of pace for a year. It's impossible. There's no way I'm going to be able to do it. I'm going to burn out. I'm going to crash and burn. And most of us entrepreneurs, we crash and burn. We find ourselves in the hospital somewhere. We find ourselves having these anxiety attacks. We find ourselves going crazy because we're trying to keep up a pace that we can't keep up with. And I realize as I get older, as I get wiser, as I learn more lessons in business, pace is the most important part. Pace is the most important. Whatever you're chasing right now, it could be a degree, it could be health. I don't know what it is. Pace is the most important part. You need to know how fast you need to run in this time and how long you can keep it up. I've been running like crazy ever since the fourth quarter hit. Why? Because I understand that in this season, it's time. Like in my business, it's time. Now, here's the beautiful thing about being in the shoe business, right? Here's the beautiful thing about that. There's really 2 peak seasons. There's really 2 or 3, really, if we want to be honest. You got the winter. You got the winter peak season just because of the holiday. You got the spring when runners are really going out there. And you got the summertime. So I know during those times, guess what? During those times, your boy. And here's the thing, when I say pace, I don't mean slowing down, just relaxing, like just kicking your feet up. We all know we're gonna lose if we do that. That's a formula for losing if you're gonna do that. But what I'm saying is there's times where I run faster. There's times where I'm investing even more, like all money in, every single dollar in, going towards this one thing. And then there's times where I switch it up, and then some of the money got to go to the infrastructure. Some of the money got to go to getting more of these racks. Some of the money got to go to getting the presentation of the package. There's a time for that, right? But right now it's the time. We gone. We out. Right? I'm working longer hours during this time. I'm making sure. Listen, here's the beautiful part. Because when you understand your pace and you understand your endurance and you understand what you're going after and you've done the search, then you can adjust to how you're going to rest, how you're going to eat. It all goes together. I don't compartmentalize entrepreneurship. I do that with my entire life. My entire life. I went paleo during the summer. Why is that? Because I understood I need to have more energy. I needed to have more endurance during that time. So I went paleo, so that way I knew that I was all clean, straight, a gallon of water a day, a bunch of fruit, a bunch of like tree nuts, fats, right? I approach this the same way in my health that I do in my business. Same thing with my relationship. I go to my wife. Listen, we in peak season. My wife handles all the back end stuff. I handle the front end stuff. Listen, we in peak season. Your boy about to be working them hours. All right. But I promise you, after this peak season, when things come down a little bit more, guess what? I'm gonna be right. But right now, we out. Because we don't got to, this season that we're in right now is not always. It's not always, right? This is probably the longest peak that we're gonna have in this business, being in the winter months, being in the months of the holidays. So right now I gotta take off. But what did that start with? That started with searching myself. All we want to do is chase. I'm just gonna chase. Let's do the search first. Let's search ourselves. Let's figure out what it is that we really want. Let's figure out what it is we really are building during this time. Let's do the search first. And then we can lock in on that target. See, I told you I was watching an animal documentary last night. And I realized that the animals, the top predators, they search first. They smell. Where it at? They searching. They're looking for it. Some of them stake out their prey for days at a time, looking at the patterns. Uh-oh. Do you see the patterns in your business? Do you see the patterns in your life? Are you catching the trends? They're going off the trends. They're going off the patterns. And then they chase. But sometimes we get so caught up in the chase, we forget to search. And then once we search ourselves, once we figure out who we are authentically, what we're really chasing, what we're really trying to build, what is it that we really want to have? What is it? What is it? Are you doing a long-term thing or are you doing a short-term thing? See, here's the thing that I know about business. Business is a long-term game. I'm not trying to retire at 40. That's not, I'm not, honestly, I don't even want to retire. That's not a thing for me. I love what I do. I love business. I love business. I love building. So this is probably a lifetime thing for me. But that's not to say, oh, it's a lifetime thing, so I'm just going to stretch it out as far as it can go. No. I know that there's some speed to this. I know that there's a pace to this. I know this takes a lot of endurance. I know you got to be able to take punches. You got to be able to punch. Gary Vee said it best. Entrepreneurship is about getting punched in the mouth. Can you take a punch? Can you take a punch and keep going? Because if you can't take a punch, y'all, we've been punched. You hear me? We've been punched. But we can take a punch and we can keep going. But before I even stepped off into these waters, I knew that this was going to be a marathon. But I also knew that even in a marathon, there people are pacing themselves in a certain manner. You got the fast runners that can keep up that pace the entire time. You got the slower runners that can keep up that pace. And some of the slower runners can actually run further. Some of the slower runners are actually like ultra marathon runners where they do 100 miles. They're slower, but they have more endurance. So I'm realizing through searching myself, I'm realizing that I got to have my endurance up in all levels, right? Because I can't go out here and start chasing a dream and then I don't got no time or no energy for my kids. My kids are energetic. I got a 7-year-old, I got a 5-year-old, I got a 2-year-old. They energetic. So that goes down, even like I said, to what I'm eating, to what I'm thinking, to what I'm reading. It all aligns. It all has to align. Because if one of those is out of place, I'm going to be running like hell over here. And then I'm going to be too tired to give any energy over there. So number one, we got to start with the search, y'all. This is the art of hunting down your dreams, hunting down your goals. This is the art of that. We got to search. And then when we chase, we got to know in this season, what's my pace? In this season of my life, in this season of my business, what's my pace? Is it time for me? Is it time for me to get that sprint game up? Do I need to be Usain Bolt right now? You know what I'm saying? Or is it time for me to be that ultra marathon runner and understand that I got to pace this thing out? Because here's the thing with the sprint. You can only sprint for so long. You can only sprint for so long. Eventually, your body's going to say, listen, I can't keep this pace up no more. I don't care who you are. Even Usain Bolt, if you watch his documentary, I watched his documentary. He's only sprinting, even in training, for like 20 seconds max. 30 seconds max. But if you put him out on that endurance track, guess what? That's not his strength. That's not his strength. So we got to search within ourselves. And we got to understand where we are right now, right? Where we're trying to go and what the pace is to get from A to B. Neil said it best. He said top speed doesn't last very long. That's true. And I didn't know that. Kenny said, I always ask myself, what gear do I need to efficiently conquer this? Exactly. That's it, man. That's it. And here's the thing with that. That comes from experience. That comes from wisdom, right? Or the experience gives you the wisdom. But like I said, a lot of us, we crash and burn. And I've been there. I've been to the point where I wasn't taking care of my body. I wasn't doing no recovery. So eventually I get injured. But now I honor that. I'm doing the 20 minutes in the sauna at 180, 185. Then I'm getting in the cold shower. Why? Because recovery is just as important, especially when it's important. It's very important. And all those things align. So listen, man, I hope that you got some value from this. If you got any value from this episode today, smash the like button, man. Smash the like button. Let me feel your presence. Let me feel your presence real quick. Don't forget, while we here, don't forget to subscribe to the Noluckadded podcast on all platforms. Noluckadded, just like my name right here on Instagram. Subscribe to the YouTube. I'm gonna keep bringing y'all value, y'all. Every time I hop on here, I'm not even gonna hop on here if I can't bring you no value. If I can't bring you no value, I didn't do an episode on Sunday. It was my 9th anniversary. Right. We had some the family over. We did some things, but I didn't hop on here. I wasn't gonna rush no time. I wanted to give y'all value. So today, if you got anything from this, share it, like it, put it in your story for your boys. And like, you know what I'm saying? Introduce me to your friends. You know what I'm saying? Introduce me to your people. But go subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one, which will probably, I think I'll be on here tomorrow. I'll catch y'all tomorrow. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And like I said, I hope I brought you value. And if I did, share it out. Go subscribe to the podcast. Peace.